Yo dudes, back in the dog and car park for this video. So this is the third time I've actually tried to film this. So my mobile phone's being dodgy, which is what I film everything on, and basically there's no audio. So third time lucky. I've borrowed the wife's phone, so I've also borrowed a car as well. So hopefully this is the one that's going to go out. The video after this is actually already filmed, but I haven't looked at any of the footage yet, so the audio could well be knackered on that one, in which case there's no way I can do it again. It just so happens that this one I can repeat all day long. And also thank you, we've had another influx of subscribers. It's greatly appreciated. I know I don't ask at all. I just figure, you know, if someone likes the channel or likes what I'm doing, then they'll choose to follow. If not, fair enough. But thank you so much for taking the time to press the button. So in today's video, it's just a quick one. Basically what I'm going to do is, I think the point that I'm at now with the van is pretty much the point that, I don't know, 95% of people are going to get to, and then for them that's probably enough. So I figured it would be quite a good idea. It's also just over 10 months since I purchased the van as well, so I'm not going to spend any more money on maintenance or anything like that this year. So it gives an idea of sort of costs involved in what I pay to purchase it, how much it's cost me to run it for the first year, and then also the cost of things that I've done to it as well. So anybody who's maybe looking to get one and wanting to do a few other things will get an idea of exactly sort of what it's going to cost them. So let's start with the van first of all. So just treat it as a standard van. So what we've spent, what it cost to purchase, what we spent on keeping it on the road and keeping it running right, and things like that, as well as a couple of other things. So purchase price. So the van was it was just over 3 years old when I bought it, and it had 80,000 miles on, and I paid £7,400 for it. In the year that I've owned it, it's been into the garage twice. So one of them was for a service, and I basically said, because I've got this thing basically where, you know, even though it's got the service history that came before it and everything like that, it had full service history. You don't know if an area's been neglected because they're going to get rid of the van soon, and they know they're going to get rid of the van soon, or certain other aspects of it. So what I basically said was just go through everything and just change what needs changing, essentially. So that service came in at £470. It had the things that increased the price, basically rear discs and pads, which isn't much to worry about or anything like that. That's just obviously part of owning a vehicle. Is it the master slave cylinder on the clutch that was leaking? So that got changed as well. So like little bits and pieces like that, as well as other standard servicing, is what's knocked that price up. Now, it's also the second time it went back in the garage. I don't know, I mentioned it in one of the videos ages and ages ago, but basically my engine management light kept coming on. It wasn't when I was driving or anything like that, and it didn't change what felt like the performance of the van. The van always seemed to perform the same whether it was on or not. But it would come on for a few weeks and then go off for a few weeks, and then it was on that sort of schedule. Every few weeks it would come on, stay on for a bit, then go off, stay off for a bit, and then come on. And you know, in the end, I kind of got a bit bored of it, so I decided just to put it in the garage again, and just get them to see if they could figure out what was wrong with it and if they could fix it. So it was pointing to a glow plug problem. The problem was actually the glow plug control unit, which needed replacing. Apparently that's super rare for Caddies. I've looked online quite a lot and I couldn't find anyone talking about that at all, but that was an issue with mine. And with the investigation and the things like that, because at first they weren't sure whether it was just that unit, because it's so rare for that unit to go, or alternatively the wires going from the ECU to the glow plug control unit. Didn't know whether there was an issue with those, like maybe they snapped or something like that. So it was investigation and also the replacement of that part that came to £337. So total basically I've paid for the van is £8,252. Now next year it should just be a basic service, because the way I see it is, once you buy a car that's used, the initial cost for bringing everything up to date that's maybe been neglected in the previous ownership is done in the first year, and then it's just the money to keep it ticking over unless something massive goes wrong. But next year it should literally just be like, I don't know, how much does a service cost? 150 quid, something like that. So that's what it should be next year, in my opinion. Miles to gallon, I've got no idea. I'm sure that I'm sure somebody could do it more accurately than I do it. I literally don't pay attention to miles to gallon at all. But I know that there's a journey I do quite regularly, and the total journey is 224 miles. And basically I use quarter of a tank of diesel doing that. So, you know, I don't find it bad at all doing that amount of miles and only using a quarter of a tank of diesel. Insurance, I'm paying £41.06 a month for. I could have got it cheaper, but the cheaper policy didn't allow me the flexibility of the one I chose. So essentially the one I chose, they basically said, anything you do to it, just give us a ring up and we'll just amend it. So if you look at like previous policies that I've had, anything you change, there's a admin fee, which is usually about 25 quid, and then an increase in premium for whatever you've done, even if something like alloy wheels. So this one, they're like, literally give us a ring up. The only time your policy is going to change price is if you go to stage 2. So even a remap they're happy with, but as long as I don't go to like a stage 2 tune, they've got no issues with. And so far I've rang them up and they're like, yeah, no bother, fine, cool, and that's it, done. Road tax is £22.75 a month. So it basically covers everything that I would say would be day-to-day running costs of the van, without obviously going to the modifying side of things. And so if you want to leave it just as a standard van and run it as a van, that's kind of the cost that you'd be looking at. So changes to the van, I may have missed the odd thing out here and there. I think I'm probably, worst case scenario, about 20 quid out from the total that I've done going through everything. So essentially what I've done is I've gone through every single video and written down what I purchased for the video, and then so that should essentially cover everything that I've purchased. So the first one was the painting of the badges and the carbon fiber wrap. So it was Halford's primer, £6.49, Halford spray paint, £6.99, and then some matte lacquer, which was £7.99, and then I bought some wrap off eBay, the carbon fiber effect. So total there was £35.46. The holes in the floor that I found from the ply lining being screwed down, Isopon P40 body repair kit is what I ended up using. I just figured it was, at the time, it was the quickest and most straightforward thing to do, and that cost me £24 for the kit, and the kit basically had everything in it that I needed to do it. After I'd done it, there was actually a silver can of spray paint that I bought that was meant to match the exterior of the van as well, but you know, it was Halford spray paint, wasn't anywhere close. So maybe you can add like £6.99 onto there as well. New ply floor I bought, which was £65, and then the Altro flooring, we'll pretend like I only bought that once and didn't wreck it, and that was £79.95, and then plus the adhesive was £8.19 for the adhesive. So total there for that one was £153.14. Sound deadening and insulation was next. So I think it was, I can't remember the thickness, it was Silent Coat that I bought for the sound deadening, and that pack that I got was £71.99. Dodo insulation, again I can't remember now what it was, but £35.99 is what I paid for that. And then I got a rolling tool to help roll it in, to obviously the floor at the back isn't a flat surface, so I got a rolling tool to help roll it into there. So that was £6.29. So total there was £114.27. The carpeting on the rear and the inserts and the trim clips. So the carpet cost me £43.48. The inserts, the material for the inserts cost me £39.49. I got more than I needed, which is coming soon. So I deliberately bought more than I needed because it has to match with another area of the van as well. So that was that with leftover to save money in the future. And then the trim clips were about £8, I think. So total there was £82.97. Oh, sorry, £90.97 with those trim clips on as well. I bought some more silent coats for the inside of the doors and in the back where you remove the panels in there as well. So that was another £44.95. And then the rear wiper delete, so £7.50 for the little plastic bung, and then the tiger seal was £8.49, so £15.99 there in total. Touran carpets for the front footwell and also the mid footwell, which isn't really a footwell, was I got them used on eBay, so that was £175. Basically it's about the same price for the front and the mid. So how do I explain that? If you just buy the front, it's going to be half the price. If you buy the front and the mid, it's going to be about double the price, is basically what I was seeing when I was looking for them. The super cheap pedals in the gear knob, so £7.59 for the pedals. The gear knob was £12.89. Don't ever buy the gear knob, it was shit. It was really cheap plastic. It made your hands stink of cheap plastic after you touched it. It was just really, really poor quality. I've changed it since, but I keep forgetting to put that in a video. But that was £20.48 there. The sliding door cover and the rail clip, I managed to find one used that was the same colour as the van, so that got sent from Germany, and that was £51.69 in total for the clips as well. And then the wheels and the tires, so by far the biggest expense. I knew there would be, and obviously I delayed the purchase as well because of what was going on in the world at that time. And presently, obviously I'm in the northeast of England, so you know, we're locked down again, although not as severe as we were the first time. Well, that's £1,015 that I spent on the wheels and tires. The Worth plastic dye, so making the bumpers black, that was £31.49. And then the tinted rear windows and the sun visor I got done, and that was 120 pence. I wish it was 120 pence. £120 for that. They have a lifetime guarantee, so if anything happens to them, I just take it back and they'll get changed straight away. Now, the second biggest cost, lowering it. So the lowering kit, the centralizing plates, the labor, and then getting it aligned about a week later as well, after everything had settled down. So £289.99 for lowering kit, £37.50 for the centralizing plates, £35 for the alignment, and then £230 for the labor for lowering the vehicle. So £592.49 there. And then there's a couple of miscellaneous as well. So miscellaneous was the wind deflectors. I didn't do a video on them, I just kind of threw them in one of the videos, I can't remember which. They cost £27.39. The new gear knob I bought, which is just a Sparko racing gear knob, £50. And then I got some floor mats or carpets for the front. Proper cheap eBay specials. The driver side one is a terrible fit, the passenger side one fits okay, but they came in at £11.49. So randomly, to put the inserts on the back, I got some industrial strength Velcro, and I think that was about £8 for the pack, but I've seemed to have forgotten to put that in, but that's just randomly come to my head, so that maybe that's like half of the £20 that I think I'm probably out in total. But anyway, the total cost of the modifications there came to £2,573.81. So I mean, even if you chose not to lower it, or so lower 1,015, so that's 1.5, and then minus the 590, so for about £1,000, if you don't want to lower it or add wheels, you can get the inside of the van looking pretty nice. Total that I've spent then for both purchase, making sure that it's mechanically sound and everything like that, and then also the modifications, that I've spent on it is around about 10,800. That maths doesn't work. 8,252,5 is £10,825, I think it was, approximately. So that's kind of where I'm sat at with it. You know, I thought now would be a good time to do that video, because most people probably wouldn't go, like I said, I think maybe 95% of people would probably end it there or before there. So it gives a breakdown of the costs and where you can spend the money if you want to do a particular thing. I'm still going on. Like I said, the reason I'm not in the van today is because it's halfway through getting the next bit done, but I'm kind of stuck at the minute. So I've broken that next one down into 2 videos. The next video is already done, but I don't know what the audio is going to be like based on when I've tried to film this one. The audio has been dodgy on my phone, but I haven't checked that one yet. So it may be that it comes out and the audio isn't particularly great. I may narrate over the top of it or something like that. But anyway, hope you enjoyed it. Hope it gave you an idea. And if you were looking to get an idea of sort of budget and things like that, of how much to spend to get to that point, I hope that helped. Have a good one. Thank you, new subscribers, and I'll see you soon. Have a good one. Laters. Bye.